So I live in a pretty normal apartment building. 6 units, shared front door, then individual doors inside. I work from home, so I'm used to random packages showing up. One Tuesday night, around 10 p.m., I got an email notification from a delivery service that said something like, "Your delivery preferences have been updated." I assumed it was a generic email and didn't think about it. The next day, my phone buzzed while I was on a call. Another notification. Delivery scheduled for tomorrow. The weird part was the name. It wasn't mine. It was close, like the same first initial, but definitely not me. The address was my building, and the apartment number was mine. I thought maybe someone fat-fingered their unit number. It happens. The package came the next afternoon. Small box, expensive-looking tape. No company logo. I didn't open it. I just left it in the hall by my door. Around 8 p.m. that night, someone started yanking on the front door downstairs. Hard. I heard it through the stairwell, like the door was about to pop. Then my phone buzzed again. Delivery update. Recipient requested address change. Leave at rear entrance. We don't have a rear entrance. We have a fire exit in the back that alarms if you open it. I went quiet. I didn't move. I just watched the peephole, like an idiot. A minute later, I heard footsteps up the stairs. Slow, like they weren't sure which door. Then a knock. Not a polite one. More like a "I'm already annoyed" knock. A guy's voice right outside my door said, "Hey, they dropped my package here again. Just hand it over." I didn't answer. Another knock, harder. "Come on, I know you're in there." I texted my neighbor and told her to call the cops. I also called, but my hands were shaking so bad I kept messing up the screen. The footsteps backed away. I heard him go down the stairs, then the front door slam. Police showed up about 10 minutes later and took the box. They told me it's a thing. People use someone else's address as a drop, then show up and bully the resident into handing it over. Stolen cards, fake accounts, whatever. I don't know. Here's the part that still bugs me. 2 days later, I got another notification. Delivery scheduled for tomorrow. Same fake name, same apartment number. Like whoever it was never stopped using my address, even after someone had already shown up to collect. I tend to be a creature of habit. Same gym, same grocery store, same route home. So when my phone threw up a notification that said, "An unknown tracking device has been moving with you," my first thought was this has to be a mistake. It popped up while I was sitting in my car in the grocery store parking lot. I hadn't even started driving yet. I clicked it and it showed a map of my last few stops. It didn't say where the tracker was, just that it had been near me for a while. I did the thing everyone does. I looked around and tried to act normal. No one looked obviously suspicious, just people loading bags, pushing carts, staring at their own phones. The notification offered an option to make it play a sound, and I hit it. Nothing happened. Or maybe it did and I couldn't hear it over the traffic. I drove home anyway, but I didn't go straight into my garage. I looped the block once, then twice. A silver SUV made the same turns I did. It wasn't right on me, but it was close enough that I noticed. I pulled into a gas station instead of going home. The SUV rolled past the entrance, slowed, then kept going. That's when the fear actually hit. Not panic movie fear. Just this cold, stupid realization. If someone put a tracker on my car, it wasn't for fun. I called the non-emergency line and waited with my doors locked while an officer came out. He didn't act shocked. That part made it worse. He crouched by my rear bumper, reached under, and found it, fast. A small tracking tag, taped up in black tape, like someone didn't want it to fall off. He told me to take it off and keep it. Evidence, basically. I drove home with my stomach tight the whole way. For about a week, I kept getting paranoid about every car behind me. Then it calmed down. Until one night, I got a new notification. Tracker detected near you. Except this time, I was inside my apartment, and my car was parked 2 blocks away. I bought one of those cheap indoor cameras when I moved into my place. Not because I'm important or anything, but because I live alone, and it made me feel better. It sits on a shelf in my living room facing the front door. The app sends a notification when someone views the feed. It's supposed to be a feature. One night, I woke up to my phone lighting up. Live view started. It was 2:13 in the morning. I figured it was just my own app glitching. But then I got another one. Same message, same timestamp, like someone was clicking in and out. I opened the app. At first, it was just the normal view. My dark living room, the glow of the router, my jacket hanging on a chair. But then the camera moved. It wasn't a fixed camera. It could pan a little, but I almost never used that. On my screen, I watched it slowly turn, like someone was dragging their finger. The camera stopped pointing at the front door, and it ended up pointing straight at the hallway that leads to my bedroom. I didn't do that. I got out of bed and stood in the doorway so I could see the living room without walking into it. My heart was beating so hard I could feel it in my throat. Another notification. Live view started. Then, through the camera's speaker, I heard a sound. It wasn't a voice at first. It was like someone's breath, or a mic picking up noise. Then a low, quiet, hello? I unplugged the camera so fast I nearly knocked the shelf over. No dramatic speech, no "who's this?" Just yanked it out of the wall and threw it in a drawer. The next morning, I reset my Wi-Fi password, turned on all the security settings I'd ignored, and checked the camera account. The login history showed a device I didn't recognize. Not just one time, multiple times over the past month. I had literally been going about my life with someone occasionally popping in to watch my living room. I posted about it online, and people told me all kinds of stuff. Weak passwords, reused passwords, hacked cameras, whatever. The creepiest part isn't even the hello. It's the fact that whoever it was didn't freak out when the camera went dead. Like it wasn't their first time losing access. Like they had other ways to check if I was home. I installed a doorbell camera after my neighbor got a package stolen. Nothing fancy, just something that pings my phone when there's motion. About 2 weeks after I put it up, I started getting motion alerts around the same time every night, between 3 and 3:30 a.m. At first it was just cars passing, headlights, normal stuff. Then one night, the notification thumbnail was a person. Hood up, face mostly hidden, standing way too close to my door. I watched the clip multiple times. He didn't knock, he didn't check the mat. He just stared at the camera, like he was trying to figure out where it was looking. Then, he reached up and pressed something onto the lens. The clip ended because the camera went black. My phone immediately buzzed again, device offline. I didn't sleep after that. I just sat on my couch with the lights off, waiting to hear something. But nothing did happen that night. In the morning, I opened the door and saw a small strip of black electrical tape stuck over the lens, like he was trying to blind it without ripping it off and making noise. I peeled it off and checked the rest of the camera. No damage, no fingerprints, just tape. I reported it and the cops did the whole "keep your doors locked" talk. They also said sometimes people do it to see if anyone reacts, like a test. If you come out yelling, they know you're home. If nothing happens, they try something else. That night, I left the porch light on and set the app to the loudest alert. At 3:17 a.m., I got the notification again. Motion detected. I opened the live view and my stomach dropped. He was back. Same hoodie, same posture. But this time, he was holding his phone up towards my doorbell like he wanted me to see the screen. It was bright enough that the camera caught it for a second. All I could make out was a photo. It looked like my front door from the inside. Like the exact real estate photo from the listing when I first rented the place. Same angle, same little scuff on the trim. I unplugged the doorbell chime, turned on every light in my place, and called a friend to come over. I don't know if it was a threat or a bluff. I just know I moved 2 months later, and I never got another motion alert at 3 a.m. again. My car has one of those apps. The ones that show you the doors, the fuel, the location. I set it up when I bought the car because the dealer basically walked me through it. I never used it for anything except finding my car in a parking lot. So when I got a notification at 2:47 a.m. that said, "Your vehicle was unlocked," I actually thought it was one of those junk notifications you can turn off. Then it buzzed again. Remote start activated. I sat up in bed and checked through the blinds. My car was parked right in front of my building, and the lights were on. Not the normal interior light, the running lights, like someone had hit the button. I grabbed my keys and didn't think, and that's the part I hate admitting. I just ran outside in a t-shirt and socks. By the time I got to the curb, the car was off, but the driver's side door was slightly open, just cracked. I didn't see anyone. No footsteps, no other cars pulling away, just the quiet street and my own breathing. I slammed the door and hit lock like that was going to fix anything. Then my phone buzzed, vehicle locked, like it was proud of itself. The next day, I went back to the dealership and asked if there was any way someone else could still have access, like an old owner, a spare key, anything. The guy didn't look surprised, which was not comforting. He said sometimes people keep a second fob, and sometimes the app account doesn't fully transfer right away. He reset some stuff, told me to change my password, and said it should be fine. That night, I put a chair under my apartment door handle like I was in a motel. Around 3 a.m., my phone lit up again. Vehicle unlocked. This time, I didn't go outside. I just opened the app and stared at the location dot. It moved. Slowly, like someone was rocking the car or rolling it back a few feet. Then it stopped. Then it moved again. And then the app updated and said, "Connection lost." I immediately called the police and went outside with them when they got here. My car was still there, perfectly parked, but the driver's seat was pushed all the way back, and I don't drive like that. This one sounds like spam at first. I honestly thought it was some new scam until it got personal. I woke up one morning to a calendar notification. Reminder, 8 p.m., don't forget. No sender name, just an event on my phone calendar that I didn't create. I deleted it, whatever. That same afternoon, another one appeared. Reminder, 8 p.m., don't ignore me. I checked my calendar settings and saw the events were coming from an invite. Like someone was sending my email calendar invites, and my phone was auto-adding them. I turned off the auto-add feature. I also blocked the email that sent it. Problem solved, right? That night at 7:58 p.m., my phone buzzed anyway. Event starting soon. I stared at the screen, dumbfounded because I had deleted everything. Then, the doorbell cam sent another motion alert. A guy was standing on the sidewalk across the street, under a streetlight looking straight at my building. Not at the camera, but at my windows. I didn't know him, but he was holding his phone up at chest level, like he was reading something. I waited for him to leave, but he didn't. He just stood there, shifting his weight, glancing down at his screen, then back up at my place. 5 minutes passed, then 10, and finally he walked away, slow, like he definitely wasn't in a rush. The next morning, I opened my email spam folder, and there were more calendar invites. Different addresses this time, but the same kind of wording. And the location field on one of them? It was my exact address, down to the apartment number. That's the part that made it feel physical. Not internet creepy, but real life creepy. I changed everything. Passwords, recovery email, two-factor, all of it. I also asked the landlord to check the building's mail area, because the only way I can think someone got my unit number is from a package label or the mailbox. I never figured out who it was, and the calendar invites stopped after a week. But for a long time after that, every time my phone buzzed, my stomach did the same thing. Because once you realize a notification can be a person, you don't swipe anything away so casually anymore. If you've ever gotten a notification that made you freeze, tell your story in the comments. And if you're listening late at night, maybe don't check your recent alerts right now. Thanks for watching. Lock your doors, and I'll see you in the next one.